You've waited long enough for the right moment. But fire signs, you don't wait. You ignite. And this weekend, May 24th and 25th, the cosmos isn't gently nudging you forward. It's striking the match. With Mars in Aries squaring Pluto and the moon moving through Leo, your core instincts are being tested, challenged, and awakened. This is not subtle energy. This is transformation in motion. This is the moment you either channel your fire or get burned by it. So here's your wake-up call. The version of you that hesitated, that played small, that waited for others to validate your direction, that version is done. Because the universe isn't asking anymore. It's demanding. Demanding that you lead, that you launch, that you move first, because you are the first spark. And you're not just being asked to push harder, you're being asked to push smarter, to light up with purpose, to turn chaos into clarity, and clarity into command. So let's be real. You didn't come this far to hold back now. You came here to break a pattern, to interrupt a loop, to step out of that cycle where your power gets stuck in potential. This weekend, you stop circling the fire, you become it. And if that stirs something in your gut, good. That's your sign. Not to prepare, to act, not to analyze, to launch, not to question your timing, but to trust your fire. Because May 24th opens with a square that challenges every fire sign's favorite illusion, that forward motion equals progress. But what if the progress now depends not on speed, but on precision, on knowing when to strike, how to aim, where to burn? And just as Mars brings pressure to move, Pluto brings one question. What have you been afraid to claim because it would make you too powerful? Write that question down. Sit with it. Because the answer is where your weekend begins. The second you name it, something shifts. You feel it in your chest. A heat, a stretch, a pressure that says, this is the moment. Because once you admit what you're afraid to claim, you give it form. And once it has form, fire can touch it, transform it, burn through every lie that told you it was safer to wait. This is when the activation begins. Saturday morning demands embodiment, not more plans, not another round of affirmations. Action. So take the leap that scares you. Not because it's reckless, because it's real. And because you've outgrown the fantasy that you need more time. You don't need time. You need a decision, a spark, a first step that tells the universe, I'm ready. So move, send the pitch, make the call, post the thing, say what you've been rehearsing in your head for weeks. And when doubt creeps in, which it will, breathe this. I am not late. I am not behind. I am not waiting. I am here. That's how you command the fire instead of being consumed by it. Because the truth is, fire signs don't wait for approval. You move so powerfully that approval tries to catch up. And this weekend is your moment to prove it. To yourself first, then to the world. So by midday Saturday, check in. Ask, what am I still trying to control? Where am I hesitating when I should be leading? Write it down, burn it, trash it, release it. Because nothing drains fire like indecision. And your clarity, it's magnetic. By the time the sun begins to drop, the moon in Leo meets Jupiter's expansive gaze. This is no ordinary moment. This is cosmic spotlight energy. But it doesn't shine for the loudest voice. It shines for the truest one. So speak like you've already been chosen. Move like the future is already listening. Because it is. You're not just here to survive this weekend. You're here to ignite it. To light a match inside your ribcage and see what happens when nothing holds you back. Because this is where the test turns into a proving ground. Where all the decisions, actions, and fire from earlier begin to take shape. But now, the cosmos shifts from sparking insight to demanding execution. The moon moves through Sagittarius, your fire sibling, and suddenly, boldness becomes fuel. Restlessness becomes roadmap. And if you've been circling around clarity, today's not about waiting for it. Today's about becoming it. Take a moment right now and feel your pulse. That beat? It's not nervousness. It's potential ready to move. It's Mars in Aries saying, let's go, while the moon dares you to trust your aim even before the target is clear. And for the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, this energy isn't subtle. It's visceral. It's alive. It's the tug that says, stop playing small in places you were meant to reshape. So this is where we shift. From noticing signs to becoming one. Midday on Saturday, you'll feel it strongest in your body. In urgency, not panic, but propulsion. A project you've been sitting on? It wants out. An offer you've been holding back? Time to press send. A truth you've swallowed to keep peace? Let it rise. This isn't reckless fire. It's refined boldness. It's where you stop waiting to be discovered and start moving like you've already arrived. Now it's time for a recalibration ritual. And no, not the soft kind, the fire ritual kind. Grab a blank page. Title it, No More Delays. Underneath, write down 3 areas where you've been procrastinating out of fear. Don't overthink, just write. Then, next to each, write the action you've been avoiding. Now pick the one that gives you the most resistance. That's the one. That's the fire starter. That's what you do today. Because when a fire sign moves, the universe rearranges itself. Not because of luck, because of momentum. Late afternoon, you may feel the energy twist, not disappear, twist. Like flame caught in sudden wind. Your thoughts might race, your confidence might flicker. You might even ask, what if it doesn't work? What if I'm making the wrong move? That's not a sign to stop. That's the echo of old patterns losing grip. That's the voice of doubt, and it's not yours. It's inherited, it's imprinted, it's outdated. Let it pass like smoke. Then return to what's true. You don't need guarantees. You need alignment. You don't need certainty. You need courage. And courage, that's your birthright. Evening invites embodiment, not more strategy, more self. Move your body. Dance. Run. Stretch. Whatever reconnects you to your flame. Because fire signs don't just think through emotion, they burn through it. Feel the sweat, the pulse, the heartbeat that says, yes, I'm alive, and I'm allowed to want more. Then, strip it all back. Not physically, energetically. Stand in front of a mirror. No filters, no affirmations, just breath, just presence, just fire. Whisper this. I don't perform passion, I embody it. Say it again, until your voice feels like it belongs, because it does. Now grab your journal one more time. Title the page, What Fire Built, and list the moves you made today. The bold truths you voiced, the spaces you claimed, the offers you released, the shifts you felt. They may seem small now, but they are sparks. And sparks? They never stay small, not when you're made of ignition. Finally, prepare one thing for Sunday. Just one. One powerful, forward-moving action that proves to yourself you're not circling anymore. You're walking straight into it. Set an alarm. Write it on a sticky note. Place it on your mirror. Because tomorrow, you're not guessing, you're acting. And the version of you who's on the Millionaire fast track, they don't need motivation. They move on mission. And mission is exactly what's burning through your bloodstream tonight. Let this be your fire. Let this be your evidence. Let this be the day where your energy didn't just show up, it took over. Now rest, not to retreat, but to refuel, because Sunday is watching. And it's ready for your next move. But the universe isn't done with you yet. Because Saturday afternoon brings a curveball. One you didn't plan for. One you can't prepare for. But one that has your name on it. This isn't punishment, it's precision. The cosmos is putting pressure on the exact place you've been hesitating. Maybe it's a conversation you've delayed, a truth you've avoided, a boundary you've softened, one too many times. This moment? It's your invitation to stop compromising, stop contorting, stop dimming. It's a decision disguised as discomfort, so feel it. Let the fire rise. Let it burn through the people-pleasing. Let it cauterize the wounds that taught you smallness was safety. Because the truth? You're not too much. You're just finally too honest to be controlled. So take the leap. Say the thing. End the cycle. Make the move that your future self will thank you for. Loudly. Not later. Now. Because every second you delay is a vote for the version of you that's already expired. And fire signs? You don't linger in expired timelines. You light them up. And walk away in slow motion. Mid-afternoon calls for movement. Literal and energetic. Get outside. Feel the heat on your skin. Let the sun baptize your courage. Walk barefoot if you can. Touch the ground that holds your ancestors, your instincts, your ignition. Then ask, what would I do today if I believed I was fully supported? What would I launch? What would I lead? What would I no longer explain? Write it down. All of it. Let it become your manifesto of momentum. Now choose one line. One single sentence that makes your breath catch. That's your mission. Turn it into action before the day ends. It doesn't need to be big. It needs to be brave. Send the email. Make the ask. Record the video. Start the outline. Post the story. Apply for the thing. Say yes to the dream that's been side-eyeing you for months. Because here's the truth. The portal doesn't wait. And neither do you. Late afternoon, you'll feel a shift in your body. Like your cells are listening. Like your breath is stretching itself wider. That's integration. That's what happens when you act before you're ready. That's what happens when fire meets purpose. So honor it. Take 10 minutes to sit in stillness. Close your eyes. Place one hand on your belly, one on your chest. Breathe in courage. Breathe out residue. Breathe in power. Breathe out apology. Let your nervous system catch up to your energy field. You're not being dramatic. You're being divine. You're not too emotional. You're emotionally intelligent. You're not too bold. You're finally accurate. Now, prepare for the evening. Because fire signs don't fade as the sun sets. They glow brighter. They gather sparks. They prepare for the final strike. So light a candle. Not for aesthetics, for alignment. This is your signal to the stars. That you're not just asking for guidance, you're embodying it. Open your journal again. Title the page, "The Version of Me Who Never Hesitated." Then write from their perspective. Describe their habits, their confidence, their clarity, their impact. Let your hand move fast, because this version of you has no time for self-doubt. They're too busy being legendary. And when you finish, stand in front of the mirror. Read it aloud, line by line. Let your body remember what it feels like to be that version now. Because you are. You're not waiting to become it. You're returning to it. And the world? It can feel it. Let's move into the night. The night doesn't ask for your performance, it calls for your presence. Because for fire signs, darkness isn't a retreat, it's ignition. The stars are listening now, not to your plans, to your pulse, to the rhythm of a soul that's finally done pretending to be small. So light that final candle. Not because you need it, but because it reflects what you already are. Untamed, unapologetic, unmissable. Now close your eyes. Place your feet flat on the floor, hands open, heart exposed, and say this out loud. I do not wait for certainty. I move from clarity. I do not seek safety in shadows. I turn them into stages. I do not dilute my instincts to soothe expectations. I sharpen them to shape my future. Let those words imprint on your nervous system. Let them echo beyond the bones. Because what comes next is not just another weekend. It's the beginning of a new rhythm. One that doesn't ask for permission. One that doesn't soften to be swallowed. One that demands to be danced. So pull out your journal. Open to a fresh page. Title it, "The Timeline That Matches My Flame." Then write the date, May 25th, 2025. And beneath it, begin listing the moves you will no longer delay. Not wishes, decisions, not visions, vows. Things like, I raise my rate, not because I want to be paid, but because I honor what I bring. I speak my truth, not to be understood, but to stop abandoning my voice. I move forward, not because I'm ready, but because I remember who I am. Write until the fire in your chest steadies, until the excuses sound like strangers, until your future self nods in quiet approval. Because that's what this weekend is about. Not pushing harder, but becoming clearer. Not burning out, but burning through. You are not here to manage other people's comfort with your passion. You are here to lead with it, to magnetize with it, to heal with it. Yes, fire can destroy, but in the hands of the awakened, it becomes destiny's architect. So prepare your space for sleep like it's a sacred temple, not out of perfectionism, but out of preparation. Turn off bright lights, play ambient beats or soft drums. Let the rhythm remind your body it's safe to soften. You don't have to fight to rise anymore. You're already rising. You don't have to defend your dreams anymore. They've outgrown the courtroom. You don't have to explain your energy anymore. It speaks louder than language. Now place your hands over your belly. Breathe in through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Release through your mouth for 6. Let your system know it's safe to rest, to expand, to trust. Then whisper this final invocation. I do not collapse into uncertainty. I rise through it. I do not chase power, I ignite it. I do not wait to be chosen, I choose. Then blow out the candle, not as an ending, as a declaration. This is the moment the fire no longer flickers, it roars. And you, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, were never just a spark. You were the storm before the flame. You were the ignition in a world full of wet wood. You were the yes that shattered 1,000 no's. So if you feel the trembling, good. That's how you know the earth is moving, not against you, with you. Because when fire signs say yes to themselves, the cosmos doesn't argue, it aligns, it adjusts, it amplifies. So tomorrow, when you wake, walk like your timeline is catching up to your conviction, speak like your voice has already built the bridge, decide like your ancestors are watching and nodding from beyond the veil, because they are. And the version of you they've been waiting for just remembered the code. So now, one last request. Pull out a final page, title it, What My Future Self Thanks Me For, and write 10 decisions made this weekend that you know cracked your old cage. Write 10 flames you lit by acting from alignment, 10 portals you opened just by saying, I'm not available for my own delays. Because that's what this energy asks for. Not more dreaming, more daring, not more potential, more presence, not more rituals, more risk. You don't need a spell, fire sign. You are the spell. You don't need a sign. You are the sign. You don't need a guarantee. You are the guarantee. So now, comment this below your video. Write it in your journal. Etch it on your mirror. Tattoo it into the marrow of your day. I do not flicker, I blaze. I do not hesitate, I claim. I do not wonder if I'm ready. I walk like I already am. This is not just your weekend reading. It's your reckoning. It's your roar. It's your reminder that when fire signs stop apologizing for the size of their flame, the whole world warms up or burns down. But either way, it finally pays attention. So go light it up. The portal is open. The stars are watching, the world is listening, and your fire, it's just getting started.